All right, Shalom. First and foremost, honor of all praises, honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of great millstone. Peace and salutations unto the Akim, to the elect that are scattered throughout the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth and faith and in all sincerity. Honor Brother Shema Allah from the GMS Houston camp. And this lesson is going to be entitled, Your Ego is Not Your Amigo. And first, let's explain, what an ego is. All an ego is basically, how you see yourself, the importance that you place in yourself, and, how you see yourself, how you value yourself, and all of that, right? And you have a healthy ego, all right, which is, confidence, all right, being confident in yourself, placing a certain value in yourself, knowing your importance, right, but not putting others down, all right, or not thinking, that you are better than others, okay, knowing your self-worth, all right, that's, a healthy ego. All right, you get corrected on something, like you're teachable. Somebody can approach you and correct you on something, right? And you take it all in. You don't think that you know it all. Okay? You don't think that you're better than others because of what qualities, right, or things that you may possess. Okay? Whether physical or spiritual. All right, now looking down on others for what they have. All right. So basically, just knowing your own self-importance without putting others down, right? But you have that an unhealthy ego, all right, which is the complete opposite, right? You're not teachable. Okay, you're somebody, right, who thinks they got it all figured out, right? You know every goddamn thing. Nobody can tell you nothing. All right, nobody can correct you on anything. All right, because to you it makes you feel less of a person. All right, it makes you feel incompetent, right? Which that's the wrong way of thinking. All right, that's an unhealthy ego. You making it too much, about the wrong things about you too much. All right, self-centered. All right. Like I said, you can't be corrected. All right, can't apologize for things that they do. All right, because you think it make you look weak. Okay, which we have to be able to own up to the things that we do. All right, that's just part of being a man. All right, owning up, to your mistakes, right, and your wrongdoings. Okay, unhealthy ego, always trying to be seen, always want some attention. You do things to be seen of others. Okay, you may do acts of service, to be seen by other people. Oh, look what look what I done did. Yeah, he did this and he done did that. But people was watching you. That's all, like, that all falls under, the umbrella, of an unhealthy ego. All right. And that's the type of ego that we want to avoid. All right. You cannot be that way in this truth, or you will be removed by the Lord. Okay. You will be removed from this thing, because there's no place for a person like that with an unhealthy ego that cannot be corrected, all right? That cannot be taught or told anything. I always want to be seen, all right? But yeah, I'll start here, Romans 12:3. It says, for I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think. So don't place too much importance, on yourself, to where you start feeling yourself. All right. Start feeling yourself because of the things that you may know in this truth. All right, the Lord may have gifted you, all right, with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. A certain type of level, a high level of understanding the scriptures, or the teaching the scriptures, and breaking these things down. All right, and with you knowing that, all right, like the scriptures say, knowledge puffeth up. Hey, some men, they start to carry themselves different. They get big-headed. All right, looking at those around them like they're above them because of the scriptures they may know and the breakdowns that they may know, or because they can speak well. All right, well, that ain't even what it's about. All right, a healthy ego. All right, we will be acknowledging that. Oh yeah, I am gifted in this. I am gifted in that. All right, but let me use this to help others. That, hey, the Lord gave this to me, and the Lord can take it away. It's the mindset, behind it. All right, and how you carry yourself with all of that, because the Lord is going to bless us with things. All right, and every man receives it differently in his mind. Okay, but it says, to every man that is among you not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly according as the Most High doth to every man the measure of faith. So it's all from the Most High. All right, you don't want to think of yourself to be too big than what you actually are, and then now everybody basically got to listen to you. In your mind, you think you just better than everybody. Everybody got to listen to you. You always right. Whatever comes out of your mouth, no, this is facts. All right, everybody don't have to fucking agree with you. All right, everybody don't have to agree with you. Everybody ain't gotta do what you want to do. Everybody ain't gotta listen to the music you want to listen to. Okay, and if somebody else want to listen to something else, hey, you can't criticize them. Oh, fuck what you listening to. This, and that. Oh, that's trash. All right. Putting others down because they don't want to do what you want to do. Hey, that's the definition of a shitty person. And that's what we cannot be. All right? We can never make it about us. Never. This is a brotherhood. This is a body. And we got to be careful with how we treat one another and how we deal. All right? So, this is Proverbs 27:2. Let another man praise thee, and not thine own mouth. A stranger, and not thine own lips. Right, because you like I said, you have many get big-headed, and they start talking about things that they do a lot. Yeah, man, I do this, man, and then yeah. And then in my daily life, man, I run all the time. I do 10 miles. I do 10 miles a day. Then I go to the gym, and then I'm eating this, and then I accomplish. Bro, like, it's okay to to motivate brothers. It's okay to to give and some insight on what you do. Like, brothers are talking about those type of things, But you can tell the character of a dude when he's talking about things that he do. Okay? You can tell when the person is trying to make it about them or one up somebody. You see, rather than helping, because the person, talking about those type of things, try to, help others. Hey, man, look, I do this and that, but hey, man, look, you can do it too. Like, all you got to do is this and that, But you be having them people, they want to, list off all of their accolades, things that they do. Like, bro, honestly, like, people who are in that mindset, who think that that's all it's about, bro, who gives a fuck, honestly? Nobody cares. Like, people put too much importance on things that they do. All right? No one gives a fuck. And you are going to have dudes that are going to come in this truth, and they're going to be like that. All right? And you need to have the courage, all right, to put the individual like that in their place. Like, hey, bro, I hear what you're saying, but hey, man, hey, no, that ain't it right there. All right, I feel like you kind of bigging yourself up a little bit. All right, or you gonna say, bro, hey, look, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. You see, because you're gonna run across individuals that's like that. All right, always talking about them, always making it about them. All right, this is Sirach 3:18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord. So the greater that you do become, the more that you should be humble. Because the greater you are, you're supposed to grow with understanding, grow in wisdom, and you're supposed to understand things on a higher level. So bigging yourself up or having an unhealthy ego and all of this and that's supposed to be behind you. Now, granted, we're going to have things that we need to work on. We're not going to be 100% perfect. And we're not going to, get everything right all the time, right? It's a lot of things, that, we're purging out, right? But, those things that you need to acknowledge that you need to work on. You need to acknowledge those weaknesses and work on those particular things, right? Not embrace that. Not be proud of these things, okay? But it says, as you increase, right, you're supposed to be more humble. But you see, people they take it differently. They get a new position within the camp. All right. Now the dude don't know how to act. All right. Now he lording and he just big and bad. Now he telling everybody what to do. Just for the fuck of it, just trying to, just get on brothers about a particular thing. Ain't nothing going on. All right. Hey, man, y'all need to do this, man. Hey, man, brother need, bro. You will have people like that. All right. You should not let a different position big your head up. All right. You shouldn't. Okay, because all of that came from the Lord. Now, your position in the camp is for order's sake, but the Lord has given you this position for a reason, and it's to minister, right? You have, the particular qualities and the abilities, right, that seem fit for this, right? You need to use that for that. Okay? This is a Philippians 2:3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves, right? Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, right? Don't let it be about you. All right? Are you doing something to get under somebody else's skin, or, are you doing something to be seen, or, to be looked at as someone who's great, right, in this thing, right? That's what on your mind, and that's what you're after. And if it's not that, then you have a problem. You cannot be like that. All right, you can't be bent up. All right, if somebody don't agree with you on a particular thing, or somebody don't see how you see things. Because to be honest, we don't have to. We all are different in this thing. We all are supposed to agree on this truth, right, and be of one spirit, right, and one mind in this truth. Okay, and dealing with these scriptures, all right, dealing with order, all right, but in our own personal lives, bro, I ain't gotta agree with you, bro. And, hey, just because you like fried chicken, bro, I don't mean I gotta like fried chicken, all right? You see, or just because you like football and you into it a lot, don't mean I gotta do it, or I gotta like it, all right? You see? But it says, in lowliness of mind, let each esteem others better than themselves. So he's supposed to be esteeming other brothers. Looking at other brothers as if they're Yahweh Shai ultimately. As if they were him. And treating them as such. All right, I ain't saying you got to worship him. All right, but how would you treat the Lord? Okay? He said, look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. So this don't make it about you. All right? We all are going to have the times to where things are going to work out in our favor. All right? Then you're going to have time to where it is not. It's going to work out in another brother's favor. Okay? Or brothers. All right? And you have to be willing to accept that. Put your ego, that unhealthy ego, put that behind you. Put you got to take yourself out of the equation. All right? When you get corrected about something, just take it in. Take the correction. All right? Understand why this is being said and just work on that. Don't try to buck up. All right? Because you don't want to be wrong or because you felt like you was right. And you could be right. All right? But that does not fucking matter. The Lord will put you in a position to see how you will respond and how you will react. It's not about proving yourself to be right. All right? And if you were correct on a particular situation, let the Lord deal with that and bring that out. All right? You don't want to be, like I said about attention, all right, doing things, just to be seen, or bro, just be humble, just be meek, right? And the gifts that the Lord has given you, just minister those things, and just be a beautiful brother. That's all you need to worry about. Have that charity, man. All right, and you will be acknowledged for your good works. Brothers will see you, man, that's a beautiful brother, man. That brother, man, doing this, that brother do that. You won't even have to say anything about yourself. And even if nobody say nothing about you, even if you don't, right, have anybody saying anything or congratulating you or telling you you're doing a good work, so what? Right? You gotta have that confidence within yourself that you are moving correct, that you are doing the right things, and continue to do that. Right? You shouldn't let your emotions go up and down based off the validation of others. All right? That's unhealthy ego. But a healthy ego, you will be consistent. All right? Knowing your own self-worth, knowing your own importance, knowing your own value, right, within this thing, having that confidence. All right? But verse 5 says, let this mind be in you, which is also in Yahushua. All right? So, Proverbs 16:18, pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. So pride goeth before destruction, right? So when a man has pride, right, destruction is following right behind it, very closely, like a shadow. Okay? And the Lord deals, with an individual like that, right? Because when you go to, what this is, Sirach 10:12, the beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High, and his heart is turned away from his maker. So pride, you departing away from. When you have pride, you're departing from the Most High. You're not operating in His spirit. All right. So when you don't got the spirit of the Lord upon you, all right, then that's how you end up in some shit, basically. Okay, and this is simple to follow, man. Like, on how to be a brother in this thing, and how to move and how to act. Like I said, we're gonna have things that we're gonna work on, right? That we're gonna need to work on. We're gonna have the things that we're gonna need to purge, all right? And we're supposed to be trying our hardest, praying, right, to better ourselves in these areas, all right? Not letting them get out of control. All right, not letting it linger around. All right, and to where you will end up basically destroying yourself and being out of this truth, right, and having the spirit taken from you. All right, and this video is for me. This is for whoever. All right, because like I said, none of us is perfect. Okay, but it's a lot of things, that we need to look out for and pay attention to, right, within ourselves, and within each other. All right, so hey, that was the lesson. All right, with that I'm gonna say shalom.